stick around, come through and dig the sound of the fly brown 6060 cycle. Who those hits around, bound to go through.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Wine Down with Kev. Thank you for tuning in. Whether you're watching us live on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you are appreciated. Let's continue with an attitude of gratitude. Thank you for my sponsors. You're going to see them scrolling across the back. Canopy Connect, they just went down. But for all things digital, if you're looking to bring your agency in the modern age and do business with customers the way they want, talk to Canopy Connect. And if you're looking to grow your social media game, look no further than right behind me, Carroll Media. They've taken great care of me. They will take great care of you. Also, for all things financial in the insurance space, my go-to bank is Wintrust Financial. So that being said, where are we going today on our journey of 50 podcasts with 50 agents from 50 different states? We're going to OKC, Oklahoma. Yeah, baby. We're going to connect with one of my good friends, my good brothers, Cole. Cole is a farmer's agent down in Oklahoma. He is doing big things. Cole and I go back a couple of years. We've both been on the coaching circuit together, the conference circuit together, and now we're going to spend a few minutes with you talking about all things good and having a good time. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your warm Wine Down with Kev hands together and give a warm welcome to my brother, Cole Caughern.
What's up, Kevin?
Now, Cole, correct me, my brother. I probably said your last name wrong. What is the correct pronunciation?
Man, I always tell people it's however you want to get it. We say Caughern or Caughorn, but you got it close.
I got it. Cowhorn.
Yeah, that
So,
works.
I got you. We are good. So Wine Down with Kev podcast family, if you're wondering why I'm rocking a hat today, because I knew Cole would be rocking his. First thing he asked me, he's glad to see it. Cole, you got a rule. You told me if you want to do good, you got to look good.
Yeah, got to look good to be good, dude.
You got to look good to be good. Well, man, I hope I'm getting it done. But I wore it for a second reason, man. This last conversation you and I had in person, you promised me you were going to take me to get some real Western hats and some snakeskin boots. I think you were rocking. When are we going to get that done?
Well, Slocum beat me to the punch, dude. That's the problem. But no, so probably next year at Leaders Forum, if you come back, I'll be there. And dude, I'll hit you with all the spots.
I got you. And Slocum did take care of me. He had this young lady doing the customized hats down there. And I had to jump on it. Funny story was I had dinner with some people the night before. They were going to take me over to the stockyard. But that next morning I walk in, she's not only doing the hats, she's customizing them. She put my initials on the back. So I think I'm legit, but there's levels to this. You know this better. This is your everyday. It's not my everyday. Usually I've got one of these Knicks hats on, but today I'm going to rock the 10-gallon with you.
Yeah, dude, you're always looking sharp though, man. So.
I try to be. I got to stay young and fresh like guys like you. So, Cole, let's talk a little Oklahoma, OKC first. How you feeling about your Thunder, man?
Bro, Thunder up. Dude, we just got to get through one more game, and then it's going to be Thunder and 7 or Thunder and what, 4? Yeah. 4, yeah. Going to sweep them.
Oh, that's it?
They're going to sweep them, dude. No doubt about it.
I love it. I love a little trash talk. So from my mouth to God's ears, I hope the Knicks and OKC Thunder will meet in the finals, and we'll have another conversation about that.
You know, I forgot you were a Knicks fan until I don't know why I didn't register until just a second ago. But, man, y'all got to get through Ant-Man, and that dude can go.
Yeah. We got to get it done. We're going to show up. We're going to make it happen. So, Cole, let's talk some insurance business talk a little bit. How is business in Oklahoma?
Oh, man, dude, right now we're going on trending upward. The company, farmers I'm with, they had to do some changes to their, model in Oklahoma and stuff like that. And for about 24 months, dude, it's a little rough.
Okay.
Rough. But we're good now, dude. There's tons of incentives to grow. I'm staffing back up really heavy, and we're taking off. And in fact, last month we had one of the largest months we've had in the history of my agency, but for sure in the last 24 months. It was huge.
I love it. Glad to hear the turnaround story. We've been in a bit of a patch for the last 2.5 years in New York, so I definitely can relate. So, Cole, tell me a little bit of your backstory. How'd you get into the insurance business?
Man, I'll be honest with you. I was hanging out with this girl in college, and her dad was an insurance agent in Atoka, Oklahoma, and they had a really good life. And I was like, man, I want to do what this guy does. So I got talking to him, and he's like, oh, I can get you on, as an agent with this other company. It's perfect. And so it didn't work out. So I graduated college, and I ended up getting a job in the oil field. So I was in the oil field for some time, and I always tell everybody I retired. I was just standing on an oil rig in Pecos, Texas, and Thanksgiving Day, and it was snowing. And I was like, yeah, I hate this. And so I just had done my time, and it was just a stepping stone for me in life. I knew I wasn't going to be there forever. And so I left and randomly got met up with the right guy. And next thing you know, I was a farmer's agent.
I love that story. So I tell people about that a lot, right? A lot of people, young people, all people, we don't know what we want to do when we grow up. Nobody says I want to be an insurance agent, but sometimes I think you need that job that you hate in order to find what you love. So that was your pivot moment. You're standing on an oil rig. My disconnect part of the story, you're in Pecos, Texas. I don't think of snow in Texas very often, but it's snowing. You're standing on an oil rig, and that was the key day. Dude,
and I really liked my job. I enjoy working. I grew up on, farm and ranch, and we just worked. And so when I got out there, I was like, oh, I'm just getting paid to do what I would normally do, which is just work. Okay. But yeah, dude, I don't know if you've ever been to Pecos, but you didn't miss anything. And all you can see at night, so I was on night shift too, all you can see is night are blinking lights. And you think this is a huge city. And then when the sun comes up, it's just other oil rigs. And so, yeah, everybody out there is miserable, but you make good money. And so anyway, I had a baby at home and a wife at the time. And I was like, I'm done with this. I'm going home. And I even called her. I was like, hey, I'm coming home. She's like, I know, you'll be home Thursday or whatever. You got 2 weeks off. You go back. I don't think you understand what I'm saying.
So help me out. If you're telling you're coming home, that means this job involved you living away from your family. That's pretty tough.
Yeah, dude. So for the first 3 years or so of my son's life, I was gone. I was with Halliburton for a long time. And then I ended up with Cactus on the drilling side. And yeah, I was gone. Usually my shifts were 7 days or 14 on, 7 days off, usually what they were.
Wow. I can feel that. I can feel that. I think anybody listening to this podcast can definitely relate, but you made that call that gives me the vibe of the movie. I can see it in my head. Our soldier, Texas based, that did some good work for us over in Desert Storm and took care of a lot of people. He had that moment in the movie where he calls home and he says, Bradley Cooper, he has that moment where he says he's coming home. So you give me that vibes when you say it. Shout out your family. Fast forward today. How old is your son? And I think you've got another little one as well.
Yeah. So Creek, my son, he's 6. He just finished pre-K, going to kindergarten. And then I got a little girl named Blair, and she's 7 months old. And then, I got my wife, Kenzie, and life is good, dude. Life is good.
I love it. And I love the kid's name, man. Hey, DJ, what's up? I'm in the middle of recording the podcast.
I know, man.
Yeah. So, this guy, we want to talk about something different. He's trying to get his website and his Google My Business page going.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody knows you helped me to get to the 2 Comma Club, but and be seen by a couple of million people. But this person wants to do something different. They're trying to run ads to their book of business, their model line campaigns and stuff like that.
I know, Kev.
Oh, man. Well, DJ, talk to the people, man, so I can get back to the podcast. How can you help?
Yeah, man. So listen, I can help you by running monoline ads to your auto, your home, as well as optimizing your website, your Google business profile, and your social media outlets. We can do the exact same thing we've done for Kevin over the years and get you in front of millions of sets of eyeballs to help you grow your business. Contact Carroll Media today. Kev, let them know.
DJ, I appreciate you jumping in the podcast. Hit up Carroll Media. DJ, I gotta go. I gotta get back to the podcast.
I know.
Creek. That's different. That's a different name. Named after.
I was driving over a bridge in Oklahoma, and it goes over Cole Creek. So my name's Cole, and it was just signed said Cole, and then underneath this creek, I was like, I freaking love it. So I stole it. And then one day, if we're ever feeling real rebellious, which I doubt ever happens, we're gonna go steal that sign though.
I got it, man. He's got to be a rock star, man. With a first name like Creek, that's one of those names he can go by his first name the rest of his life.
Yeah, he's cool, man. He's a lot of fun.
Beautiful, beautiful. You leave the oil rig, you come back home, you go right into ownership. Do you pick up a job working for an agent, or are they looking for agents with a little bit of experience like yourself?
Dude, so I had a little bit of money stashed away. So I took like 90 days, maybe 120 days off. I didn't even look for a job.
Okay.
And ended up started like, okay, I'll look for a job, something to do. And I find out about Aflac.
Okay.
And so I kind of, looking back, didn't do them the best. But anyway, they brought me on. They were going to bring me on as a producer. And so they take and get me my life license, everything. And about the time I'm going to start with them, I also get a call from my farmer's guy. And ended up, I just thought the farmer's route, PNC route, was a much better decision for my family than the supplemental route.
I love it.
So it looked, I don't want to say daunting, but it looked hard to succeed there based on what I saw in front of me. Not saying it is, but from what I saw in front of me, it looked like, okay, that route's going to be a lot harder than this route.
No, good stuff. I definitely understand. And Farmers is a wonderful company. You made a great decision. So Cole, invite us to Oklahoma. Invite me and my audience. If I were in town today, where would we be having lunch at, and what would we be eating?
Okay. If you're in town, I'm probably picking you up in Tulsa. So we're going to go to Nala's.
Okay.
It's a Creole steakhouse.
Ooh.
And it is my favorite place to eat of anywhere I've ever been.
Wow.
And I don't know if it's just me hyping it up or not, but I love it. Then we're probably going to roll back through and have us a cigar and an old fashioned.
Okay.
Ooh, the cigar lounge that me and my friend go to. And then after that, dude, if I knew you was coming, I'll have my grandma make you a coconut cream pie and life will be good.
Oh my God, man. I'm sold, brother. Where do I sign from
dude. You just
oh my God. So, lots to do, man. The Creole Steakhouse, you had me there. Cigar lounge, old fashioned, end of the day with grandma. Man, are you selling policies using that sort of closing techniques? That's not even fair.
Man, you'd be shocked at how many policies I sell by just saying, hey, I'm Cole and I sell insurance. It actually has some effect at some point, but it works.
Hey, that's how it starts. Nothing beats a failure like a try.
Mm-hmm.
Go help me understand the landscape of where you are in Oklahoma. When I think of Oklahoma, I think of Tornado Alley. I think of some natural disasters that might come your way. But talk to me a little bit, educate me. I'm sure there's more that I don't know.
Yes, so I'm kind of my business is northeastern Oklahoma, but I live in southeastern Oklahoma, and so eastern Oklahoma is all trees and hills and mountains. And then the further you go west, the more it turns into a desert. So we literally there's a place in Oklahoma in Beaver called Little Sahara. So if you want to see definite change, we definitely have it here. But as far as weather goes, dude, I apologize in advance, but Oklahoma's got to be a woman because it never makes up its mind, dude. It's hot and cold and windy and raining and tornadoes, and it's just randomly crazy. And the roads are awful.
and now is that seasonal? Is it a certain time of year, or is that just any given week, any given day, it might change.
Dude, you never know. And like, for instance, this last Thanksgiving, I was hanging out in a t-shirt with everybody, and then like 2 days later it snows. Like, what is going on? Like, it's just so, and it's always humid. The summertime here, like we go to Florida or whatever, it's no different than being at home. Everybody's like, you don't know humidity. I'm like, no, it's 100% humidity at my house. Like,
wow.
Definitely understand.
Oh my God. That sounds like a lot. Knowing that the weather is so fickle like that, that has a big impact on what we do in terms of insurance. So let's talk about the property insurance side first. How important is it that people in your area, in the great state of Oklahoma, get insurance from a local agent to properly prepare themselves for the types of disasters and fickle weather that you face?
So Oklahoma is unique because it's a state that, to understand what's going on here, you need to live here. Right?
Okay.
And dude, this is the honest truth. I've lived in Oklahoma my whole life. I'm 30 years old, and I've never heard of a wildfire ever.
Okay.
And so companies start coming in and saying, hey, these are fire lines and all these houses and these lines, we're non-renewing. And I'm like, I was talking to some other agents. I'm like, this is stupid. I've never heard of a wildfire. Literally last month or 2 months ago, Stillwater, Oklahoma gets hit with a wildfire and like 200 homes burn up. Wow. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Now we got wildfires. And so it's a unique thing because someone that's not from here cannot explain to you why things are going on the way they're going and why the price of your insurance is what it is, because they just don't understand because they're not from here.
So a local person in your area from Oklahoma listening to this that may have made the god-awful mistake of buying insurance from a .com or 1-800 number, you don't think that's a good idea?
No, I don't. Because and why would you ever do that anyway, for the record? But no, I don't, especially not in Oklahoma. You need someone that understands, like, hey, XYZ is going to happen and you need coverage for these things and these things and these things. So it's important. And also, like, I did a lot with cattle owners, people that own horses and cattle and stuff. And, you go by .com and a lot of people don't keep their animals at the property they live on, right? So they have another place. Well, just little bitty things like off-premises liability. They don't even have it, It's like, you can't get that from a .com. You're going to talk to somebody that knows what they're talking about to even tell you about it.
Cole, full disclosure, I'm in this business approaching 4 decades. Me living on Long Island, a suburban area, my agency based in Queens in an urban area, the next person that tells me where they keep their horse and cattle, that'll be the first time I've ever been in that conversation. And that is important. So who is that beautiful thoroughbred I see behind you in that photo?
Dude, that's a painting someone gave me because I was too cheap to decorate my office. So I don't know. I don't even know where it came from, but I like it. I think it looks pretty sharp.
Well, Cole, let me ask you the question again and make up a better backstory. Tell me you grew up riding the horse and then you had an accident, you fell off, and now you got into insurance. So, Cole, who is that beauty that I see in the background back there?
That was a horse that was descended from my great-grandfather's stud, right? And he's who I learned to ride on. And when I got in college, I did this abstract painting of him because I thought it symbolized all that cool stuff.
Oh, man, you could spend the yarn with the best of them, man. I'm buying what you're selling.
Yeah, man.
Real talk. You said you grew up on a farm. Did you grow up riding? Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. I've never had anyone argue this with me, but I'm pretty sure I was on horses before I could walk or crawl.
Wow. And for a New Yorker like myself, what does it mean growing up on a farm? What is your morning routine like growing up on a farm? What's the first couple hours of the day? What are you doing?
Well, dude, the first thing, like farm life, is everything eats before you do, right? And so we rodeoed pretty heavy. And so my horses were athletes, right? That means they're on their own vitamin program. That means they're getting, some of, at the time it was pretty new, but I had some of them getting laser therapy when I was in college. Like, these horses are finely tuned animals. They get exercised every single day, stretched. I mean, you roll them out, like all kinds of things you would do to an athlete. And so my morning woke up usually with feeding horses. And so because I tied calves, I would usually have a calf in the barn that I could flank and tie and practice in the mornings. And in the summertime, I would get up at 4:30 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, and that time, so I could have my horses saddled, ready to go and be in the arena before the sun came up, because it's just so hot, and you kill yourself and your horses, and you still have to practice, And so that was what my summertime was, is up super, super early, or we'd rope super, super late, but yeah, animals, they don't care about vacations. They don't care if you're sick or feeling good. We're coming on spring. It's fixing to be calving season. And you think them cows care what you got going on when they decide to have their baby? They don't.
My God.
So everything came before you, man. Everything.
Hey, Ray, it's Kevin. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Nothing, man. You guys have been helping me out for a while with all the digital things you can do at Use Canopy. But some of my guys, they're still having a hard time adjusting to the digital age. Talk to the people, Ray, please.
Yes, sir. Well, Canopy Connect is the insurance data intake platform. Send a link out to your prospect. They, click on it, find their insurance carrier. We got like 350 insurance carriers on there. Click that, sign in, and they can be done there. You can ask them a few more questions you want, but we're going to pull all that insurance information, give it to you right in a nice dashboard.
That sounds pretty quick. What are we talking? 2 or 3 minutes?
Less. You can do that in 30 seconds, man.
Wow. Nick, you're a big time marketing guy. What do you think?
I think Canopy Connect is one of those tools that everybody should have in their back pocket. Makes it easy to use. You can send it out in emails and text messages. You can use it in social media campaigns, X-Date campaigns. All of those methods will work with Canopy Connect.
Guys, I got to get back to the podcast, but you heard it right here. Use Canopy Connect. Go digital. Leave old school in the past. Nick and Ray, I'll catch you guys later. Easy.
Let's go. See ya.
Simon Sinek wrote a great book called Leaders Eat Last, and you grew up that way. How old are you when you're doing all this work before school starts?
All my life. I was talking to my mom yesterday. So I don't mean to be insulting here, Kevin, but there's 2 different types of hay. There's big round hay and there's square hay. Right?
Okay.
You and me can lift a square bale, no problem. A round bale, you got to have a tractor. Well, my grandpa had a ton of cattle, a bunch of cattle, and so he fed every day. And, I helped feed a lot. And so we'd have 15 to 20 square bales in the back, and you cut the wires, and they just peel off in flakes, right?
Okay.
I was 6, every bit of 6 with him, and we were putting out 100 of them bales a day.
Wow.
And I was running wire clippers and twisting wire and peeling it off. And I thought I was having a lot of fun. And I was talking to my mom about that yesterday. I was like, what the heck? Like, I was doing full on labor, but I was having time of my life. I thought it was fun, And so it's a different world now for my son.
Fast forward to today, you've got a 6-year-old at home.
Yeah.
Do you still live on a farm with horse and cattle?
So I live real close to my parents, and we have all those, and he has his own horse and all that stuff. But truth be told, he's really not into it like I was into it. He's a Transformers guy. So we hang out talk about Transformers a lot.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So you got good early farmer training. My dad grew up on a farm. I didn't. How has growing up on a farm helped you in business and given you a good morning routine? So what's your morning routine? How do you start your day today as a business owner and as a business coach?
So what I do is I talk to my team about this every day, is I like to start with wins. So a win can be getting up on time, make your bed. Maybe it's 2 minutes cold shower, right? But getting some kind of win underneath your belt, because I don't really have that right now at this point in my life. I don't have time for cattle and horses like I did then, but before it was like, okay, I've fed and watered horses. I've cleaned their feed out. Their stalls are good to go, XYZ. And then I've gone and taken care of myself. Like, I knocked all these things out before anybody else even up. So it's important that you start your morning with wins, and they can be something as little as literally not hitting snooze, make your bed, cold shower. And, those are whatever you want it to be. Like right now I'm in a spot in my life like I said, I got a 7-month-old. I'm enjoying getting to be there when she wakes up, and I like to have a cup of coffee with my wife before I leave for work.
I love it.
Regardless of what time that may be. Like, I'm having a cup of coffee with you before I leave.
There it is. And that's a win. That's off the list. You're not worried that you ran out of the house and you didn't get that done. Let's shift back to business a little bit. You're growing, you're rocking and rolling. How hard is it for a new person that might want to work for your agency to listen to this podcast? They say insurance sounds pretty cool. I want to get into it. How hard is it to get your license and start selling insurance in Oklahoma?
So it's not. It's really not. It just takes effort, like most things. I mean, if you're willing to work at it, it's, in my opinion, the property casualty test, at least Oklahoma, in my opinion, a lot of it's just common sense.
Okay.
You know? So that wasn't hard. Now the life insurance is, that one sucks because it's so wordy, you know?
Okay.
But property casualty, no, you can knock that thing out. It's, are you willing to do it and make an investment in yourself and go chase it?
You said investment in yourself. What does it cost? A couple $100, a couple of $1,000? What does it cost for someone thinking about doing it? Maybe want to spend a couple of bucks on themselves to join this field.
If you can join my team, I think we'll just say $50. You have to pay for a background check, $50 for a background check. And then I will provide you the training for free.
Okay.
And then the license test, which I think is like $45, and then the license like $100.
I don't have a calculator, but sounds like we're in the game for less than $200.
Yeah, super easy. And usually I reimburse the background check after they've been there 90 days.
I love it. Cole, if I wanted to come to Oklahoma and work for you, if I want to do everything except for the background check, would that be a problem? Would that be a red flag for you?
Well, I can't appoint you.
I love it. So if someone doesn't want to spend that $50, they might have something happening back there that they don't want to talk about.
That's what we call dead in the water.
On to the next one pretty quickly. Yeah. Cole, tell me a claim story. Tell me a time of something that went down in Oklahoma where you or your team advised people to get the proper coverage. And because of that, during this claim, they worked out better because they were with you.
You know, I'll give you one recent. I had a friend of mine, which I have another saying that I like to say is, if you don't do business with your friends and your family, they'll stay that way, right? And so I do a pretty good job running our business without me having to go and attack my close market. I just let them come to me as they do. And when they do, I always say, here's the policy I'm writing you, because this is a good one. Take it or don't, but I'm not budging, right? Because I want our friendship to stay good. And so anyway, went to high school with this kid, and his limits on his auto policy were $250,000. And when he came to me, they were state minimums. They were $25,000.
Okay.
And so I quoted him. I said, hey, it's going to be this. He's like, well, I don't want all that. And I said, well, I don't care. I said, you can take it or not. And he's still a good friend, and he was a good friend then. And he's like, no, I don't need all that. And I said, well, then, hey, I can't wait to see you at the diner. We'll have breakfast together, you know? And he's like, fine. And he took it. It was within 6 months, he bought his wife a brand new Ford Expedition.
Okay.
Platinum, a bad boy.
Nice.
That night that they bought that car, they T-boned a lady and totaled her car, and she milked it too. You know how claims go. Anyway, that lady milked it too. Anyway, it was all said and done. We paid out $237,000 by the time we fixed her vehicle and paid for her. And that's not counting fixing their vehicle. That was a separate deal, right? And he was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. I was like, yeah. And in Oklahoma's a wage garnishment state. So if he couldn't pay that, you know, they went from being tight to tighter.
Right.
And so anyway, I took care of him, and that's a big thing right there, is when somebody says, hey, listen, these are the limits and we're going to stand firm on it or we're going to walk away. I don't think a lot of people do that anymore. But that's
I think that's huge. You coach agents, I coach agents, and that overcoming the objection with I don't care. I don't think that's in any of our scripts, but sometimes you got to stand your ground because whatever price difference you were for conversation's sake, let's say you were $100 more. Well, $100 on 237,000, it was worth it, and you did the right doggone thing for your friend. That
Well,
definitely
yeah.
helps you sleep better at night.
Absolutely. I mean, think about it this way: at $100 more, that's $1,200 a year, which is 12,000 every 10, 24,000 every 20 years. What do you think you would rather pay? 24,000 over time or 200,000 today?
I love it. I love it. I'm closed. Sign me up.
Oh man.
Cole, talk to me about coaching and helping other agents. You're based in Oklahoma, but your reach is a lot larger than that. You and I have coached together with a similar coaching company. I see you're reaching out. You're doing different things with other services. You're helping agents sell the agencies with Justin. What do you enjoy about coaching and mentoring other agents and their staff?
Yeah. So the biggest, I live for the aha moments, right?
Okay.
I love those. And something that I really enjoy talking to agents about is that not all of your marketing things have to be paid marketing, right? So I know we all do live transfers and internet leads and mailers and all that stuff, but I think a lot of times we sleep on the things that are right in front of you, like referrals or
Yes.
cross-selling or just things like that we just miss on. And so I love talking to especially new agents. I'm like, don't make the mistake I did and get out to where you're saying, okay, now I'm spending $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month on internet leads. And now I have to spend that.
Yeah.
Right. That's where you get in a problem at. And so I love talking to new agents. I'm like, hey, let's get really good at this side and then really good at this side. And then we'll worry about internet leads.
No, I love it. Yeah, there's this forgotten component of our worlds, and I've been doing 50 podcasts, 50 agents, 50 different states, and there's this simple word that people have forgotten about. It's called community, where every community in the country, once in a while, a couple of hundred or a couple of thousand people will get together. And what I've always loved about that, Cole, if you've done the hard work of organizing the county fair, the football game, whatever it might be, there's less differences than what's the same in communities around the country. I can do the easy work. I can pay a couple $100 for a table. I can give away waters at a game. I can introduce myself, and I can do the work from there. It's a whole lot easier, a whole lot more connectivity, and it grows your business much faster.
One of the biggest things I've ever done, one of the best marketing things I've ever done is I went to a local privately owned coffee shop, not a Starbucks, right, but a local. And I said, hey, how much do you make from 8 to 10 in the morning? And he told me, and I said, if I will match that, your average, can I buy everybody's coffee and pass them out to them?
Yes.
He said, absolutely. And so we got little sleeves made that went on the coffee cups that had our logo and my name on there and had a QR code at the end, scanned and all that stuff. And I just handed out coffee for 2 hours, just like this, just how I'm dressed right now. Say, hey, my name's Cole, farmer's agent, and I have my staff with me. And, we killed it. We killed it. And it was all local people.
I love it. I love it. Geico can't come to town and do that.
No. And they won't.
Right.
Even if they could, they won't. They're not going to sponsor T-ball teams.
No.
They ain't gonna do that stuff.
They're not going to do it at all. I love that process that you shared. So insurance agents, whether you're watching this live now, whether you're listening to this in your car at a later date, pull over to the side of the road, take notes, because that was a jewel right there. Cole, that was a process way back in the day. We used to call that a random act of kindness day. 2 hours giving away coffee. I'm getting some coffee in the morning anyway. It's a local shop. You spent a couple of $100, whatever the total was. You greeted some people with the first thing they need in the morning. To me, that proves that you'll be there for me if I need you at night.
Yeah. I mean, that's our job. I mean, that's our job. And I had to figure out some way how to cost effectively get business at the time. And it's like, man, I'm getting hammered and I need more, but I can't pay for more.
Yeah. And I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you talked about the pivot from that kind of marketing budget. I think too many times we see agents that are much larger are having some success in this area, and we get into copycat syndrome. Well, if Agent ABC is doing this and he's growing like wildfire. I'm going to copy it, even if it kills me. I'm going to max out the credit cards. I'm going to mortgage the house. I'm going to do all these things to get my numbers up so I look good and feel good. But I think there's a saying, maybe in Texas, maybe in OKC too. I think they call that big hat, no cattle.
Yeah, big hat, no cattle.
Yeah,
All
I
hat,
don't
no
want to be that.
cattle.
I don't want to be that guy. I'd rather meet, greet, shake hands with people. I've never been the largest live transfer guy. I think of it as buying friends. And I got some quiet confidence in myself. I believe what you said. I believe if I meet you in person, if I connect with you on some personal level, I think you may want to do business with me. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah, my biggest thing is I always tell people I want to be snap finger famous. So a hat helps with that, right? But I want to be like, hey, the cowboy hat insurance guy. Like, oh, cool, right?
I love it. That's a good one. Pull over to the side of the road and take that note again, because if you become snap finger local famous, that's all you need. You get the right percentage of your town, your county, your community, you'll do pretty good. Hey, Cole, take me to the outdoor life again. You grew up on the farm doing all sort of fun stuff. Fast forward to the ripe old age of 30. What are you doing outside of the agency for fun now?
I golf. I love to golf. I think it's because I'm extremely competitive, like unhealthily, very unhealthy how competitive I am. Golf lets me be competitive, but with myself.
Okay.
Right? So that's why I like golf. But I hunt, fish, hang out with my kids. We go for walks a lot. We live in the middle of the country, so we just walk down the road, and we throw rocks in the creek, dude, and just hang out.
Can you skip rocks? I can skip rocks.
Oh yeah, dude, I can skip rocks.
I'm not challenging you, but I used to be pretty good at it.
I think it comes in the handbook when you're born in Oklahoma, Texas, this area. It's like, here's how to skip a rock.
All right. I'm from New York, but I have skills in that game.
Yeah.
Everybody golfs, so I'm not asking you about golfing. What are you hunting? When it's hunting season, what are you looking for out there?
The only thing I don't hunt is turkey.
Okay.
Other than that, I hunt everything else. Pheasant, quail, duck, deer. This year I'm going to hunt for black bear, hogs, coyotes. I think that about knocks it all off. But yeah.
Biggest catch? Biggest thing you got so far?
So I went deep sea fishing and I caught a huge blackfin tuna with old Nick Plaisance and Sean Reeves and Coney Long and Jeremy Radaball.
That's a crew right there. That's a crew.
Boys. Yeah.
The Wild Boys.
We went deep sea fishing, but I've killed some pretty big bucks, pretty decent.
Right, let's put a weight on the fish though. What's the weight on that fish you caught? The audience, they're going to listen to this. They got to picture it in their minds. What's the weight on that fish?
I don't know. I would say it was 45, 50 pounds.
Woo!
Yeah.
That thing fought back.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So me and Nick Saka and Jeremy Radaball were all in the same boat. And when I tell you, I've fished my whole life. Right?
Okay.
And so when you catch a blackfin tuna, you catch them on the bottom, which is like 300, 400 feet. And so when they hook this fish, what we would do is we would set the hook. But I guess because they're so deep and so far, these guys just gun that boat. That sets that hook in that fish. Well, you fight it, dude, like you cannot believe it. And it's just like 30 minutes of just up and reel on your way down and up and reel on your way down. You just drag them off the bottom. Do they hit the front or the back of the boat? And it looks like a mirror going 1,000 miles an hour across the water. And blackfin was a lot of fun. Biggest fight I've ever been in my life. I was exhausted after just
man. I'm wondering why the rod didn't give. That's a beauty, man. 45, 50 pounds. Don't get better than that.
Swimming 35, 40 miles an hour.
Woo-wee.
Yeah, moving.
Wow. That is a lot. Cole, what didn't I ask you? What didn't I ask you about outdoor life in Oklahoma? We've talked insurance. We've talked coaching. What didn't I ask you before I get ready to land this plane?
Man, I'll tell you one thing about Oklahoma is, number one, we are pretty much 100% an Indian reservation. So it's Native American roots are huge in Oklahoma.
Okay.
And I'm actually Choctaw, so I'm part of Choctaw tribe, and I live on Choctaw Reservation.
Okay.
But if you want to see gorgeous sunsets, Oklahoma is the place to be. They look like watercolor painted skies.
Wow. Well, you said a lot there, and I'm glad you said it, that you live there on the reservation. My wife is Shinnecock American, where here we're at the powwows every year on the reservation. The fact that you live there means a lot. For those listening that don't know, it's a whole world within a world when you live on a reservation, very different from anywhere else that you live in the country. A lot of laws, if you will, don't apply on a reservation. Also tells me you live in a pretty tight-knit community.
Man, the place I live at, McAllister, is a larger town, but it's a small town at the same time, you know. And what's funny about Oklahoma is you really would never know the whole state's a reservation, right? Because it was not. And it's just recently become like, okay, we're going to call it reservation now. But what's so weird is how the laws affect each person individually. Like, because I'm Choctaw, like, certain police officers can't pull me over, or if they do, they have to call in for, you know, a tribal police. And so it's created a lot of crazy stuff, you know, like there's been a lot of crazy, you know, Supreme Court cases over stuff like this. And so it's wild, but it's no different than it was before. So it's really a weird time right now.
So with you being Choctaw, I know with my wife's and her family here in New York with Shinnecock, there's a whole documentation process that you have to prove you're on the rolls. You've had to go through that process?
So because my great grandma was on the Dawes Act. So we just traced the lineage, but every one of my family, we've had our tribal membership IDs. So I just got my daughters. I just walked in, I showed them mine. So here's her birth certificate. And they said, perfect. But if you were not on there now and you're wanting to prove it, you got to prove that you have an ancestor on the Dawes Act and track it all the way back through there, which is kind of a pain in the neck.
I love it. Educate me. Dawes Act, not familiar.
So what that was is when the U.S. government relocated everybody with the Trail of Tears.
Okay.
They said if you'll sign the rolls, Dawes Act, and you're saying I'm Indian, we're going to give you a certain allotment of land. Okay. And what's crazy about that, and you hear it all the time in Oklahoma, is like, well, we're Choctaw or we're Chickasaw or we're Cherokee or, you know, Seminole or whatever. But my great-great-grandpa didn't sign the Dawes Act because at the time being Native American was you didn't want that. You didn't want that on your name. So it's a big deal that people even signed up to begin with. Right.
You had to take the bullets to come with it with saying yes, but today it benefits you. So shout out to that, and thank you for the information. Thank you for the education. We got your morning routine, how you start your day. How do you wind down at the end of the day? You've done all you had to do. You've done the business. The kids are in bed. How do you wind down at the end of the day?
Monte Cristos, baby, White Series. Smoke a lot of cigars.
That's it.
That's about it, man. I don't have any other. That's my guilty pleasure, I guess. But yeah, I smoke like a cigar about every day if I can.
Nothing wrong with sitting in the backyard, watching the sun go down.
Yep. And I'm getting a hot tub, dude. So it's fixing to be hot tubs and cigars. Like I'm so excited for my hot tub.
I love it, man. I love it. I love it. Anything you're looking forward to special this summer? Any trips coming up?
No, man, not really. We're just gonna fly by the seat of our pants this summer and take random little like minications because you got a 7-month-old, dude. It's hard to travel.
It's harder. Preparing to go on vacation, putting the playpen, everything else together. You're better off in doing it. My summer sounds the same, Cole. I'm going to try to steal a few 3-4 day weekends if I can. Go to some local places, some driving vacations. My wife's not excited about flying right now, so I don't see us going very far, but there's a lot of beauty within a couple of hours that we haven't been to before.
Yeah. I mean, just take a drive, dude.
That's it. That's it. Nice and easy. Cole, closing comments. Anything you want to share with the people? Anything at all before we land this plane?
Man, you know, I do want to share something now that I think about that.
Talk to me.
The bar to be great is lower than it has ever been.
Wow.
And so if you are not attempting to do the little things like just meet someone at the door and say good morning, shake their hand, or the yes ma'ams or the no ma'ams, or say, how's your day going today when you're having interaction with people? those little bitty things, they go so far. And I'm not even talking about being very good at your job yet. That's a whole nother thing.
Right.
But people, I'm just say it how I feel. People suck. Like, I went to get lunch a while ago, and I said 2 things, and the girl couldn't remember what I ordered. And I was like, I ordered 2 things.
Right.
So I rolled up the window, and she was doing this right here. And I was just sitting there like, I was just kind of, I was mad at first, and I was like, I understand that's the world she's in, so I got to love her where she's at. But my point is, like, I'm sitting there thinking, like, it's so easy to be so much better than everyone else. And to the standards that I grew up, and I know you grew up to,
right?
Those are laughable things it takes to be just good now. You'd be like, those are common sense things, but people just don't do them anymore. So what I would say is the bar to be great is lower than it's ever been. So if you're not great, it's your own fault, because it ain't hard to be.
That's a powerful ending. I love the story. The bar to be great is so low. You have a better chance now to be great than any time ever before. So if you're not great, don't blame anybody but yourself. Cole, man, thank you so much for spending this time with us, spending time with everybody here in the Wine Down with Kev podcast world. You have been awesome. And to everybody that tuned in for the podcast today, thank you, and thank you. Special thanks to all of you that have already hit the subscribe and the notifications button. If you haven't done it already, go ahead and hit the button now so you can be notified when great content like this comes out. Always big thanks to my sponsors that you've seen popping up in the background. Carol Media, all your social media needs. Canopy Connect for all your digital marketing needs. And my go-to bank for everything financial, Wintrust Financial. And last but definitely not least, put your warm Wine Down with Kev hands together and give a great round of applause, yes, to Cole Caughern. Thank you, Brother Cole. I appreciate you.